Hi, Nolis. Well, firstly, thank you so much for your patience. I'm every single one of these jobs, I'm coming right to the end of the line. I'm always so grateful when I pick out a job and I get to get going on it because that means I'm closer to getting it done, which is cool. Okay, first of two watches. We got us. You have a 6139 later one, gold, and you have this baby, the Arnie Fieldmaster. These are cool. Not a lot of people know about them, and it's not only rare to see them. It's rare to see them in this condition, cosmetically. This one, it lived a life. It's dirty. Dirt packed into and around everything. What are you gonna do? But look at the loom; it's perfect. This circle around the pip is nice in there. The E and W and S are mostly unfaded. Internally, it's exactly the same as an Arnie, of course, but externally, the craziest thing, of course, is the crystals for these are so rare. They're so rare. 305W something or other. Hard to get hold of. But yours is pretty good. It's got a couple little marks on it, but I'm going to clean it up. Me personally, if this were my watch, I would keep that crystal. I would not put a new one in. A new crystal is not going to give you that much of a bump in clarity. In fact, it won't, I really think, give you any kind of a bump in clarity, really, after I clean it. I wonder what that stuff is. Be curious to see if that comes off. It looks like a little bit of pitting. I wonder if this thing was in some kind of a strap that was like a NATO style strap or a leather one that held moisture against the case back. Got a couple tool marks there, nothing major. Okay. So far it's intact. It's had a few battery changes. You can see from the scratches on that right there. And it's dirty inside. And it has a hair. And it has another hair. Okay. Well, okay then. One of your screws is missing, but that's okay. I have more of them. It's still the original battery cover. A little bit of acid crystals in there. It doesn't look bad. I've seen it's no, it's fine. Big old fingerprint on the case back there. That's always lots of fun. Well, I say, let's do that thing. Let's do the thing. Oh, where did I put it? I love doing these. I know that sounds crazy, but I really do like doing these Arnies. They're surprisingly a pain in the butt in certain ways because of the way that they are, the way that they're built, because they have all these interlocking, interleaving spring plates and clips more than they have screws, and they have locating pins to keep all the different layers together, but it's still a little funky. So it's like you have to sort of hold this spring the spring trap or something. You've got springs everywhere. You've got to hold it all together while you're trying to get it aligned and then dropping the screws in, which is just fun. Come on, little clip. Oh. Yeah, that's actually usually the most time involved in doing an Arnie, is the making sure everything goes back in the right place. Mm-hmm. 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 Aha. Pretty clean. Has some haze on it. Nothing major. That's good. How's your circuit look? A little bit of damage right there. But let's get this out of here and see what we can see. I did not want to get this up. I don't want to jam power through one of these things if it's been sitting for a long time. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Trying to be as gentle as possible. Would you get out of there? Okay, alarm spring. Get that out of there. There we go. Well, that's not bad. A little bit, nothing bad. I don't anticipate that's going to be a really serious issue. Okay, but I could be wrong, but I might be right. No corrosion under the leads. That's always good news. It's the worst. You look at this and the coil will look good, and those two little clear blobs right there, that's glue. It's holding the lines on the two lines of the copper wire. And this will be like green or black, or there'll be corrosion under it, and even if the thing looks fine, there's no way to make that better. It's just done. There's that. Have to hand clean that. Yeah, this is this thing where you get these nested layers of springs, this like ball of springs. There's a spring on a locating pin. There's a couple, 3 springs, depending on how they are worked. There is your variable trimmer. Here is the stem release. And now, let's get this out of here. The reason I like to do this is pull the stem release and everything else like that and do the back is because then I don't have to really honk on it to get this cleaned. That's crazy. Gosh, I can't imagine what it'd be like trying to frickin' replace this thing. Look at that, because it's one of the ones that's not threaded. This thing was built like this in the factory, I think. Boy, that'd be just buckets of fun to hunt one of those down. Let's go a little bit more like that. Yep, glued in place. Glued in place. There we go. Clean all that up, and I'll clean the block here by hand. Okay. Yeah, there's some ash in there, but it's not bad. If you get real battery acid, it'll eat this black block alive. It just sort of degrades into this sort of fibrous stuff. But we're not losing that. Even these little pins are still here. Okay, let me get this out of here. So I'm gonna, oops, I forgot that. Yep, that's the rest for that spring. Just gotta put that in the right basket. Burp. There's that. Okay, I'm gonna pull the hands and dial, and we'll look at both of those. Hang on a second for me. Okay, here's the heart of the movement. I have everything prepped to go through and hand clean all the pieces that I got a little bit of battery acid. There's some that came through there. But again, this looks bad, but it's actually not that bad. The nice thing is a little bit of vinegar. This is just one of those pre-clean things. Get those crystals out of there. Yucky. Gross, gross, gross. And it just goes away, just like that. I'm going to do a bunch more cleaning besides that, so don't worry about that. But from an initial step, it's going to be just fine. Everything is going to be awesome. And this is just that was just a quick and dirty first step. And I'll go back over all this stuff again. Okay. So now it is the time. It is the time of the season. I've never liked that song, in case anyone cares. I mean, the song just doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, would you knock it off? Doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, we got us one screw. We got us two screws. Screw. Screw. Train bridge. And that's the crown wheel right there. That's a little dirty. I see some black crook stuff in there. Yeah, there's some little flaky things in there. I've certainly seen worse. I think I say that a lot, don't I? Okay, now we gotta get our stepper motor out of there. Always gotta take your stepper motor and make sure there's no magnetic debris stuck to it. And you use that. You do that with Rotico. Hang on a second. Darn it. hand clean that, that's right. Must hand clean. This is the center wheel bridge thing. It's got that handy dandy little diddly for the movement too. There's your center wheel and what passes for a canyon pinion. That's those friction spring setups right there. That gets nested in there, and then we get that intermediate wheel, and then we have the actual hour wheel. There it is in all of its glory. And you have this little diddly thing right there. And that right there is your hacking lever. And let's get that apart. Hacking lever, and that's where the crown wheel sits. Come on, come on. Yeah, it's one of the trickier things in assembling these things is making sure this little keeper right here is in this notch. That is the spring for that hacking lever, and if that comes out and it's over here, you can still screw everything together. All you do is smash the end of the hacking lever. It won't hack anymore, and that's not cool. So that is almost that. Come on. Come on. Come on. You know what? Let's go plan B. One of the great things about Rotico. Sticks to everything. And there you go. There's the main plate. There's the main plate. It's super exciting. So I got to clean that up. I can do all this hand cleaning, and then I'm going to pull the case apart. Here's where the real fun is. Just thought you might want to dig this. Yeah, I got your, here's your old crown gasket. Notice it's falling apart. Yeah, good stuff. That's the good stuff right there. Yeah. Yeah, baby. I'm gonna have to hand clean all that stuff. But first I gotta get that crystal and the chapter ring out. So let me do that. Okay, there's your crystal. Like I said, it's in good condition. I wouldn't fiddle with this one. I think it's fine. I'll clean it and put it in. I'm gonna have to hand clean the chapter ring. It's got oil or some kind of lubricant around the top. Not quite sure what's up with that, but clean it off. Here's your old crystal gasket. Doesn't that look yummy? Ooh, look, it's got giant hairs on it. That's when you know it's good. Now I just have to get our buttons out, which I can certainly do. So long and a short button. I'd be curious to see if these are the 2 button or the 1, I'm sorry, the 2 seal or the 1 seal buttons. Early were 1, later were 2. I have those to replace in case one goes popping off into nowhere, but I'd rather not have to use those. Let's save your originals. Okay, now we're going to find out. I say, what's the case back date on this thing? 85. I bet you it's 2 button. Oh, I lied. I was wrong. Yep, only one button. That's just fine. I mean, this worked for a long time. Okay, so now, yeah, look at that goodness, huh? They say variety is the spice of life. I disagree. This thing is supposed to have fat bars, by the way. You can see them. Interesting that they went with the pierced lug option. These are not correct things at all. And we will, in fact, swap these out for actual fat bars. God, look at all that crap. Yeah, look, and the seals are just coming to pieces. Well, good thing I've got more of them. I mean, not that these are. Look at, they're just disintegrating. That's what happens. So I'm going to clean all this stuff by hand. And then we're going to run it through our multi-stage cleaner specifically for cases. Oh boy, it's the end of the day. Come on, get up. Off, off, off. There's your other one. So there you go. Okay, so I'm going to clean all this stuff up with pegwood. And we'll get this whole thing cleaned up. And that ought to be good. Why is that dinked? Why is that dinked up? Oh, I'll straighten that, don't worry. Okay, cool. Let's get it all cleaned up. Looking at the cleaned case and case elements. It looks pretty good. That's such a beefy case. I mean, look at the work that they put into this. But whoever owned this, well, you saw that the person did not really clean their watch. And so you have some tiny areas of pitting, like there's a little bit right inside here. See these little brown flecks? Those are not dirt. That is, again, a little bit of pitting in the frosted surface. You see some here around the crown, like that. There's a little bit in there. There's a little bit here. It doesn't mean anything. It's not a danger to the watch. It doesn't matter. I'm just letting you know what this is so you don't think that there's something that wasn't taken care of. There's a little bit there. And we have, lastly, you can see it right there. It's just a little bit of pitting. And there is also, that's what this is on the case back. Pitting as well. And that can only happen when you have something that can hold moisture and dirt against stainless steel. And then you're going to get this kind of pitting. So a person must have had it on one of those, I don't know, some kind of bund strap or tactical strap or something. But this is what it is. It's the way it looks. I think it adds character. There's this. Your rotating ring came out pretty well. Yeah, there were no problems inside the rotating ring. That was fine. Let's see. That is a masterpiece of design, isn't it? But Lord help you if you need to replace the darn thing. Both buttons are ever so slightly bent. Which you can see right there. There's one. I will straighten those out. You can see they both got a wiggle to them up at the top because the underneath of the buttons was packed with junk. Whoever was doing this was trying really hard to push the buttons down and bent them. So that's what's going on with that. Okay. Here's the main plate. Looking all shiny. Circuit block. A few more. No, I think that's just some hazing on it. That's a metal post. Yep. That marking there underneath the thing, that's just a little bit of hazing on the surface. There's the spacer block itself is fine. So I'm going to get to it. Everything else is clean. We're ready to start assembly. This is one of these things, when I'm doing the train and all that other kind of stuff, I want to be right on top of it to make sure that I get everything right. I can either do this correctly or I can make a video, but I can't do both. So, well, how about this? I choose not to try. So we'll come back, all right? But it'll be together by that point. And we are back. It is together. It is working. I want to. I'm gonna check the functionality, and then I'm gonna head over to the quartz tester QT99, and we'll see what we got for accuracy and what's going on. Okay, here we are at the fantabulous Seiko quartz tester QT99, and we have been getting real steady. This is 0.8 of a second per day. Right. Hundredths, tenths, yes. Been a long day. And I'm being distracted by someone who's not being appropriate. I'm talking to the cat.
Oh, God, I'm not doing anything.
She's cleaning herself right next to me. Okay, so we're going to try to dial this in. We want to get this down. Now, these have the discriminator, the adjuster on these is not as fine a discriminator as on the 7548, but it's the same exact trimmer style that's on the Grand Seiko high accuracy quartzes. Hang on, I gotta get right on this.
What? What's eating?
Oops, hang on. Okay, let's see what happened here. Okay, I'm going to wait for the next gate. This counts to multiples of 10, and then averages to give us a rate. Okay, I'll drop it. Let's try it again. Okay. Well, that's certainly better. 1/3 of a second per day. Should give me more than that. I want to check something. I am radically changing the position. I don't want to make sure everything is lining up where it ought to be. I'm trying to make it go faster. I'm just checking to make sure that it's going the direction I want it to. Yep, okay. Yeah, I'm going back down. This has not been together very long, and I am a little tired, so I'm hoping that I get this dialed in and then leave it to run. But, I mean, clearly it's running steadily, so I actually have no problem going to bed anyway. Oh, come on now. 1/3 of a second per day. Well, that's no good. Oh, no, it's fine. Well, yeah, I might have to go look at that circuit again. Come on, give me what you got. I think I want to go back in and look at that circuit with that contact patch is for this, because it should give me more variability than this. Okay, it works in the up position. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't think that's right. I think I have a dirty connection. We're not making a lot of progress, are we? Well, I've seen that number before. And I've seen that number before too. And I think we're going to keep seeing that number until I go in and I look real carefully at the circuit. Yeah, I don't think we're heading in the right direction. There's something is not behaving. I will mainly try one more time. And if this does not pan out, I am going to do that, but I'm not doing it tonight. It's a 1/4 second day accuracy, quarter to 30 to 33%. 33.33 repeating, of course. That's quite accurate. But let's let it run an overnight. No, deal with it in the morning. Alrighty. And there she blows. These really are cool. They have, I don't know, the thing about the regular Arnie is that they've got the plastic shroud and some other stuff, and they tend to to me they feel kind of light, and I mean the shrouds are fine. It was definitely the style at the time, and they are super cool. I love how robust this case is. I love the bead blasted finish. It's one of my favorite things in a watch. It's all clean now. This turning is just silky smooth. All of our functions work beautifully. Your LCD display is just solid, not faded at all. Test our alarm. There's your alarm test. There's your light. Everything's doing what it ought to. This is a really nice watch. If ever I find one that's in this condition with the unfaded orange bits, this kind of cosmetic condition almost exactly, I'll pick one up. I think they're pretty neat. As usual with the Arnie's, I wish the handset was slightly bigger. I still think you could make it slightly bigger. But, I don't know, it's a neat watch. Cool, and that's about it. So, thank you again for your patience. I really appreciate it. And I'll get this invoice all set up because every watch has its own paper trail, and then get to work on the other. We'll get to work on the 6139 that we've got going on. All right, thank you so much. Really is a cool watch, especially like this ashtray bezel. I really like. So silky smooth too. Okay. Thank you much.